Well, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Let the Truth Be Told. My name is Sean Williams, and I sure appreciate being in front of the studio cameras one more time, man. I thank the Lord for everybody that see us every single week and say, Sean, I watch your TV program every single Sunday night. I sure appreciate it, man. I thank the Lord for just having me to be over here and having an opportunity to be with Jason on a Saturday to tape this program. Feeling pretty good today. Got up this morning, just moved around and just got my day started and shot a good prayer out to my Lord and Savior, you know, to just bless me throughout the day and let me be able to say something on this program that might be a help to somebody. So I thank the Lord for everybody out there, all my Facebook folks. I appreciate that. Everybody that I talk to that run into me and say, man, keep on keeping on, keep your head up, keep doing what you do. We've been watching you. Drop some nuggets on me, man. I applied it to my life. My life got a little bit better. Man, I sure appreciate it because I'm just a tool that the Lord is just using to be able to help somebody make your lives a little bit better. Man, I sure appreciate the last episode. We ran it for quite a while, I think, Jason. We ran it for about a month and a half or so. And a tree is known by the fruit that it bears. And I'm such a stickler to that. Not the fruit that it talk about, but the fruit that it actually bears. You know, a lot of times we got the gift of gab and we want to talk about what we want to do, but we never really want to put the effort and the sacrifice that it's going to take to do it. So I thank the Lord for it, for that long segment, stretching that over a long period of time. And everybody that watched that program, hopefully it was a help and inspiration to your life and let you know that you can change some things. Just spin it around, you could change some things. You know, I came over here to the studio this morning a little bit dressed down because it's summertime. Everybody's out enjoying themselves. You know, we just got off the 4th of July weekend, holiday weekend. It was just a blessing and a blast to be around family and enjoy family around the 4th. Had a great time on the 4th of July with family and friends. So appreciate that. Summertime, man, everybody enjoying themselves, everybody traveling and knuckling it down and enjoying themselves, going to vacation and from city to city. You know, you guys be careful out there going from city to city. You know, always drop some prayer in there to give you some traveling grace, because we only make it because of God's grace and His mercy. And so being able to be on those dangerous highways and byways and be able to go visit some different cities and see some different things and get new ideas that you can come back and apply here in the city of Champaign, the city of Urbana. So I thank the Lord for everybody that's out there traveling with their families. I know we got something big going on this weekend over in Indianapolis, the Black Expo. I normally go to that. This year, you know, I had to scale back, because sometimes you just got to take the sacrifice because got some other things that I need to be trying to do in my life and as far as my employment and stuff like that. So got to spend that time out to just sacrifice some of those things. Sometimes you can't always kick it. Life ain't always just easy. Sometimes you just can't kick it all the time. So appreciate it, man. Going to get on to this segment that we're getting started today. You know, and I'm looking at all the dynamics that's going on television, looking at all the dynamics that we're reading in newspaper articles. I'm looking at my Yahoo News, and so many different things are going on. And I'm thinking about, man, you know, I'm thinking in my mind, like, man, how did we get to this place? You know, with so much going on. I mean, so much violence. I talked about the 4th of July weekend, over 100 shootings over in Chicago alone. You know, I'm looking at so many different murders happening, so many different, we right in the city of Champaign. You know, just here recently, we had a Chinese graduate student that was, you know, kidnapped, and potentially, you know, we're thinking, or at least law enforcement is thinking that she's killed. She's been killed. You know, that's right here in the city of Champaign and Urbana, right at the University of Illinois. And I'm looking at it on worldwide news. You know, we're making headline news. And even to this day, I was watching it this morning that they were doing an update. You know, what's happened to this student. You know, and my heart and prayers go out to that family. You know, we continue to pray for your family. You know, I mean, whatever this community can probably do, I know we're reaching out to this family to try to support this family during the tough times. So I thank the Lord for the people that have stepped up to try to come in the midst and try to ease some of the pain to this family. So big shouts out to you out there, everybody that have, we have so many different things going on, man, that have developed us into a mindset. I mean, I watched and read a lot of stuff on the internet, about, how racism is up in America. I mean, just the racial divides off of politics, off of the climate that we're all in this political season that we're in, and it's just increased gun purchases. I mean, and just the amount of, I was just watching something on television about road rage. Road rage is up over 75%, where people are just getting mad because you didn't put your signal light on. Because you maybe changed the lane right in front of them, or you didn't let them get over. Road rage is up. So we're just coming to a place, man, where we're just angry and bitter and mad and frustrated. And so that's causing us to make some knee-jerk reactions on a whole lot of different levels. And so I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, what is going on? And then I'm thinking, okay, Sean, so what are we going to title this program? I mean, what are we going to title this program? And I'm kind of thinking about, what can we control? Who can we control? How can we make this thing better? And I came to the conclusion that the only person that you can control is you. You can only control you and what you decide to do and the choices that you make. And so I thought about it. I thought about the artist. I thought about one of my favorite artists is Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror, and his song and his lyrics and the lyrics to his song. And so, I downloaded this earlier. And Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror song, it says, I'm going to make a change for once in my life. I'm going to feel real good, going to make a difference, going to make it right. As I turn up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing in my mind. I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I? Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their needs? A summer's disregard, a broken bottle top, and a one-man's soul, they follow each other on the wind, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know. I'm starting with the man in the mirror, and I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer if you want to make the world a better place. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. That's probably some of the most powerful lyrics in a song that was ever made. Because if you want to make a difference in life, take a look at yourself. It's the man and the woman in the mirror. And it's almost like my episode that we did last segment called A Tree is Known by the Fruit That It Bear. What about your fruit? What is you doing? So many times we play this blame game. Well, man, it was because, and man, but if it wasn't for this. And then, so many of I go right back to where I'm at. The views and opinions here expressed to those of Sean Williams charged to my head, not to my heart. But I go back to some of my community leaders that I deal with on a regular basis, and they say, Sean, you need to go back and, make sure you know your history. Well, I know my history. I know my history. I know about slavery and all these different dynamics and all so many different things. But, so many times we can get stuck into a rut. We start getting mad. See, some of those things will get you mad, and then you don't get out of that place. You get into a negative place. And so many of us can be stuck into a negative place for so long. Next thing you know, we got bow ties on, we marching, and we ready to tear something up because we mad about what the history said. And even so many times, even when we look back, and so the program that I wanted to entitle today, how do you feel about what you see in the mirror? Because some of these things are determined on the way you feel about what you see in the mirror. So as you reflect back on your life, are you satisfied at what you look at? I know in the morning time when I get ready to get myself together and I get in the mirror, because a mirror is reflection of who you are, how you feel, what you look like. It's a reflection. So when I get ready to get myself together in the morning, get ready to start my day, you know, it's how I feel determines how I'm gonna make somebody else feel. Then I listen to somebody, one of my great speakers, he said, Les Brown, he said, the first 20 minutes of your day determines how your whole day gonna go. The first 20 minutes. So if you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, or you got a bad phone call, or somebody said something out the way in the household, or you just upset, 85% of Americans don't even like working at the place they work at. I read that statistic. 85% of Americans not even happy about going to work. They're not fulfilling what they should be doing in life. So they don't even like going. So they ticked off, even about going to work, not looking at the flip side about the people that ain't working. So when we go back to the man in the mirror and the woman in the mirror, what do you see when you look in the mirror? Because that's going to determine whether you're going to be a help or you're going to be a hurt. That's going to determine your hurts, your habits, and your hang-ups. That's going to determine whether you go out there and hurt somebody else because you pissed, you mad, you frustrated. So many times I've seen that so much, man. We see it so much in our communities. We see it so much in our country, around the world. People acting out in acts of violence because they hurt. Somebody disrespected them. Somebody said something the wrong way. Somebody didn't respect your culture. Somebody didn't respect your way of life. Somebody never respected your thoughts. Your family values, your family views, and your morals. Somebody disrespected that. Now you got to act out in the way of violence. And most of the time, you're hurting people that ain't got nothing to do with it. Innocent folks getting hurt because you mad. You don't like what you see in the mirror. You know, that's a tough thing, man. The toughest battle that you can ever be in is when you're in a mental battle with yourself. When you at war with yourself, you don't like what you see in the mirror. Whew, that's a tough place, man. Ticking time bomb in the inside. In the inside. So, you know, I downplayed this here, right? Because I ain't want to put on the suit and the tie and all of those different dynamics, because what we called that in the military, we called it camouflage. So I wanted to be right there in the level of everybody else. I ain't want to look all like I'm trying to be because Deacon Johnson say, Sean, stay down here, Sean. No matter where God take you to, stay down here. And I want you to let you know, man, it ain't about the clothes that you got on. Because a lot of times we try to fix it up. We try to dress it up. We want to go spend $900 on an outfit. But we're hurt in the inside. The inside toe up. Off the stuff we went through previously. You know, some of us still stuck back in the 60s. We still mad about what happened back in the 60s. Somebody did me wrong back in school back in the 70s. I got a brother, he mad at a guy right to this day because he sold him a bogus cassette tape player for his car way back in the day. He don't like him to this day. Said, man, Sean, he ain't no count. He ain't no count, man. He just, my brother Elephant. He ain't gonna give you. You got one chance. And that's the way it is. Got one chance. And some of us like that. We only give a person one chance. You don't get the 2 to 3 strikeouts. We don't give you the benefit of the doubt. You get one mess up. Man, I'm sure glad God ain't like that. Give us one mess up. He give us chance after chance after chance after chance to get it right. So even though you don't like what you see in the mirror right now, you got an opportunity to change it up. It's a new day, man. It's a fresh new day. A fresh new day. So when I got up this morning, it's a fresh day. Don't worry about yesterday, last week, the week before that, last month, last year. And when I'm telling y'all, I apply it to myself, man. Because I'm not no better than anybody else out there. I made mistakes. Constantly making mistakes, but I'm trying to learn from them. God don't send you through a path or a road for no reason at all. I tell a lot of my families that I serve in the funeral home business, man, God picked the best flower in the flower garden of life for a reason. And we got to learn something behind this tragedy. Behind this tragedy, we got to learn something. And I tell you how, God got a sense of, having a sense of humor and, of trying to show us stuff, because when we're going down these paths and these ups and downs in life, these rivers and these valleys, really, be careful what you ask for. Because as soon as you ask and say, man, I'm blessed and I'm highly favored and man, I'm trying to get a blessing and I'm finna change and I'm finna do this, be ready to go through something. God gonna take you through something because I'm gonna tell you what he wants you to, what he wants the outcome to be. It's called testimony. The old saints used to say testimony. I want a testimony. It's the test, but you gotta be willing to stand up to the test. So don't let what you've been through make you bitter. Let it make you better and not bitter. Too many of us bitter. Too many of us bitter because we had to go through a change of relationship or we lost a loved one or, the job closed down on me. They want me to relocate. I lost this job or whatever the case might be. Man, I lost some jobs, and that was the biggest blessing that could have ever happened in my life. At the time, it didn't feel good. At the time, I didn't know what I was going to do. At the time, was I frustrated? Yeah, I was frustrated. Was I disappointed? Yeah, I was disappointed. Was I sad? Man, come on. Teary-eyed. Teary-eyed. But when I look back over my life, if it wasn't for that to happen in my life, I wouldn't be doing some of the things I'm doing right to this day. I wouldn't have the character that I got to this day. I wouldn't be motivated to inspire others to this day. I wouldn't have a testimony. To be able to tell your story to others to make their lives a little bit better. Because sometimes you ain't got to beat your head against a brick. Somebody else done already did. So be willing to listen to somebody else's story. And that's a whole nother segment. Because it's too many of us out there hard-headed. Even when you not a kid, you're an adult, somebody trying to tell you something. Man, I know everything. You can't tell me nothing. I know everything. All right. Then we do a mirror check. Mirror check. Let's check the mirror out. Because a lot of times we say, when you run into folks who say, hey, man, how you doing? Oh, I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. And, man, it's all good. It's all good, man. It's all good. But then do a mirror check. Because you can lie to me. You can lie to people around you. I told you about the battle within. You can't lie to yourself. You can't fool yourself at all. You know who you are. You know what you can contribute. You know what you can change. You know what you have to change. Because that tree is dependent on you. The people that watch you right around your inner circle, they dependent on you to change. They dependent on you to get better. Some of us are just, because of what we see in the mirror, we become cancerous. It's like tag. Don't y'all remember tag? We used to play tag back a long time ago. We got so many PlayStation games and all this type of stuff. Grown folks playing PlayStation. That's a whole nother segment. But we used to be creative and come up with our own games. We had a game called tag. I tag you and you run and you tag somebody else and you tag somebody else. Well, that's the way some of us doing in life. We bitter, we hurt, we mad, we frustrated, and we tag somebody else. And when your buddy that's around you or somebody that's in your close circles get ready to say, hey man, I'm tired of going through this. I'm tired of being the person that I am. I'm tired of not trying to achieve. I'm tired of not trying to get that business that I want. I'm tired of this current job situation. I want to change something up. When you get ready to say that, and then somebody will say, man, you can't do that. Man, you're going to lose everything that you got. Man, them people ain't going to let you do that. How you going to do that? Man, you ain't got no money. But you got the best recipe out there for some great whatever it is. You got the best business idea. You got the best new internet invention. But you'll listen to a jerk over here with no vision, no aspirations, no confidence in himself or herself, and you'll listen to them. What you got to do when you run across people like that, do a mirror check on them. Well, let me check his track record. Well, they ain't never, man, I can't listen to them. Then you got to do what Steve say. Jump. Just jump. Sometimes you just got to get in the mix. Sometimes you just got to get in the mix. You just got to get in the mix. Get started. Stop procrastinating. Man, one thing about life is so short. I was just doing a mirror check on myself, man. I'm like, it seemed like I was just in my 20s. Then my 30s shot through. Then God just blessed me to turn 48. And I'm thank God for it. But those years, let's start here. Those days, then those months, then those years go by so fast when you look back on it. So as we do a mirror check and we look back on our life, how many of us out there in the viewing audience tonight can say, man, if I can do it all over again, if Lord could bless me to just do it all over again, what would you change? What would you change? Ask yourself that. If I could start it all over again, what would I change? What would I did different? What would I did different in my 20s? Let's flip it all the way back. Let's go all the way back to high school, because some people still stuck in high school mode. I know some guys still stuck in high school mode. Everything funny to them. They stuck in high school mode. Stay with their mama. They still stuck in high school mode. They ain't branched off yet. Some of us still stuck. But what would you change in your life? What would you add? What would you subtract? Sometimes, I just got to say it like this. Man, I thank God I went through just about everything that I went through. And as I'm asking you guys out there in the viewing audience, I'm brainstorming myself, and I can envision some of the things I went through. Some of the things I went through, and I share a couple of them, That day that I was at Gold's Gym, my last day, I seen my buddy Miel. I'm thinking about it. That last day, man. Last day I seen my buddy. Me and him working out. I got that phone call to come to the house. If I said, man, forget that. I ain't coming home. But I didn't. That last fist bump. Man, I'll holler at you later, man. If I could have just stayed there with him, would I have been able to help him? And so many times we had to replay stuff in our minds. But what I realize is, God got a plan, man. God got a plan. And with my buddy, it ain't about how long you be here. It's what you do while you're here. What legacies you create while you're here. What you tell folks that stick with them to help them carry on with their life. Man, he told me so much. Tell me carry on with my life. It's a pain that I never get over. But it's a pain that I learned to deal with. But he'll tell me right now, Sean, man, keep on going. Get better. Man, I want you to get this and I want you to get that. God got you for this and got you going for that. Man, keep it up. Because he's a supporter. He was a supporter. Get all them haters out your life, man. My buddy man, I loved him. He loved me. He wasn't never negative. I go to him and I say, hey, man, I think we're going to do this here and we're going to do that there. I tell you, I'll keep it 100 about my buddy and say, man, that ain't what I'm going to do, but I'm going to support you in doing it. And that's not a problem because you need support. We all need each other. Once we realize that we'll be a better community, we'll be better people. Our mirror will look a lot better because we'll realize we need each other. The only way seeds can grow is from some love, some nutrients, from some love. That's the only way seeds gonna grow. A flower can only grow if somebody care about it. That's the only way a flower gonna grow. And as a human being, so many of us done gave up on ourselves. We don't even care about ourselves. Our hurts, habits, and hang-ups then got us hurt and hung up on our own self. Man, I'm 48 years old, man. I ain't never accomplished nothing in my lifetime. I listened to another one of my speakers. He said, man, so many people done died at the age of 21, but they don't get buried till the age 60. How many folks you know like that? Ain't got no aspiration, no inspiration, no integrity. They ain't got any N word. They ain't got it. They're giving up on everything. And they just straight negative. Negative. You hate even going around them. It's the woe me. Woe me. I'm reading this book, right? Reading this book. And it's an audio book. Man, I thank the Lord for technology nowadays because I hate reading. But now we got technology. You can ride in your car and listen to an audio book. So I'm reading this audio book, Millionaire's Mind by T.R. Becker, right? I think that's the name. Millionaire's Mindset. You can Google it, all right? And so it's talking about the mindsets of different people and categories of people. So it's talking about the mindset, a millionaire or billionaire's mindset. So the analogy that he gave was a Donald Trump, and he did this way before Donald Trump was president, but the mindset was Donald Trump, billionaire. And he was saying, if Donald Trump was a millionaire, he'll feel like he was broke because that's just his mindset as a billionaire. But the author kept on talking, and he was saying some of our mindsets, not a millionaire mindsets and not even a thousandaire mindsets, some of our mindsets right at about hundreds of dollar mindset. And that's what governs us. You know, because it's all about me. And you think somebody taking something from you. So that'll go to blame game again. Oh, you got my job. You're taking what's for me. And you really don't know. In order for you to get more, you got to be willing to push others. And that's how blessings happen. You help others, then God bless you. You become a lender and not a borrower. You become a blessing to other people, then God blesses you with what you need. But too many of us, we want to reverse that. Sean, let me hold something. Man, I wish I could get mine. I'm going to tell you how you get yours. By giving somebody else what you need. Whatever you seeking, you go out there and help somebody else accomplish what they need. See, that help your mirror out. See, because that's called community service. That's called being a servant. You start feeling better about yourself because you help somebody else accomplish what they needed to accomplish. You know, you ain't faking it till you make it. How many of us are willing to give? Too many of us are out there takers. And that's what we then became, to a society of takers, you know? Or people that just don't care. We don't care at all. We got to start caring more about what other folks going through. Some of the stuff that I see on television or something that's happening in the community that affect me. Because I'm a part of the community and I'm part of society. And it should affect you. You should get immune to everything. Well, you just done heard so much it don't even affect you no more. We done became so self-centered, so selfish, that don't worry if it ain't hurt me. I was just watching some soldiers that got killed in battle. I think it was over in Afghanistan or Syria. But you know what I thought about? I thought about my years of service. It could have been me. I raised my right hand to this government and said I was going to protect it from foreign and domestic. And I believe in that to this day. It added, at that map station, it added another sense of responsibility to me. And I vowed it for the rest of my life. To be able to make somebody else's life a little bit better, dedicate our lives. So those guys gave the ultimate sacrifice. It's giving up their life for the lives of others. But how many of us care about that? How many of us truly, truly, truly care about it? It's folks in politics that's making those decisions, of sending these men and women off to battle, and they don't really, really care because it ain't their kids. But they making the decision. And it's based upon monetary greed. It ain't need, it's monetary greed. Sad, man. It's sad. The only thing that can keep you going then is that when you know it's a higher power, man. Because I told you, God got his way of sense of humor, man. Got an awesome way of sense of humor. And it's called reaping and sowing. It's the law of nature. We got our own law. We got our laws that we're governed by. But God got his too, man. Law of nature. It's called reaping and sowing. So you can go out there and treat people wrong and keep on disrespecting folks and, you know, not doing what folks told you to do and, you know, and not taking care of your tree. You know, I watched one young man, he said, man, I got 9 kids. Like, okay, you got 9 kids, 4 baby mamas. Okay. Check this bitch out. How'd you out here keep on creating all these trees, man? And you ain't watered the first one. You ain't nurtured the first one. You're creating more hurt, more pain. Ain't nobody even seen you. You ain't even been around. At some point, you got to say enough is enough, man. I'm going to stop the generational curses. I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna be accountable for the people that I'm connected with. I'm gonna be accountable for my tree. Matter of fact, this tree right here finna be the best tree. Man, I'm gonna make sure this is the best tree. I'm gonna take care of this tree. This loved one right here, I'm gonna love on this loved one. I'm gonna make sure they be somebody. I'm gonna give them everything, all the tools that they need to be successful. When are we gonna start stepping our game up? Because when I look back into what I started this program out on, you know, all the stuff that's going on, all the murk that's going on around you. See, and one thing about it, even though stuff going around you, you got to learn how to win in the wilderness. And I know everybody out there, even if you should want to win. Because some folks some people done got immune to losing. Ain't no sense even trying no more. I know you out there. I'm talking to somebody out there. How many of y'all out there that just done stop trying? Just gave in to losing. And I know it's a lot of you out there because I done seen a lot. I done heard a lot. But you should want to win. And even though you're going through something, you got to be willing to win. It's so many YouTube stories and stories out there, inspirational stories, uplifting stories about people that had health problems that never gave up. Fought cancer for third or fourth time fighting cancer and never gave up. Now cancer free. Tried a business idea. 9th or 10th time trying a business idea. Finally fine-tuned everything that was going wrong and got it right. Didn't give up on the education. Maybe start a little late in life because of responsibilities and all kinds of other things. But then said, man, I'm going back and get my education. I'm going back to school. Get back what the devil done took from me. So that mirror start looking right. You start looking in that mirror and that mirror start, pick your shoulders up a little bit. So many times I see people walking with their head down, slumped over. Body language, just say 1,000 words, your body language. You know, your haircut, say 1,000 words. Some people ain't got to say nothing. It's written all over your face that you've been through something. You've been through something. And I've been down that road, man. My tree full. I got a forest. My tree full, man, the people that I'm connected with. And I know folks that have been through something. You know? It ain't because you're on this side of the tracks, you're on this side of the tracks. The mirror decides on what you feel like in the inside, man. What you got to offer from the inside. Stop living from the outside in instead of the inside out. Let me roll that back. Stop living from the outside in and start living from the inside out. Too many of us living from the outside in. We want to camouflage it up, put on a great swagger, front, faking it till we make it. But we're super negative. We the one that got the fake page going on Facebook and we saying stuff about people and we study keeping gossip going on and garbage going on. We study tearing people's lives down because we don't feel good about ourselves. And then every time you run into somebody, what up, bro? You doing all right? You don't really care. You was the guy that was behind the hating. I'm telling you, man, it never works out for you. It never works out for you. it never works out for you. Man, I tell you, I thank the Lord for allowing me the avenues and the hurdles and the valleys that he's taken me to, and the up places, man. I thank the Lord for being in the funeral home business. Taught me a lot, man. Man, I thank the Lord for being in the funeral home business. Taught me a lot about life, how to respect life. Taught me a lot about people. Taught me a lot about families when I get ready to do my community work. What's some of the issues going on with our families? The brokenness in families. You know, and a lot of times we don't want to hear the tough stuff. And really, when it comes from certain people, we really don't want to hear this tough stuff, because we'll get to talking about what your life is like. You don't tell me about my life. What about your life? You ain't, because we looking for somebody else that look like somebody else to come tell us what we need to be told, instead of the person that's next to you that seen your ups and your downs, know your intimate stuff. But we want somebody that don't know us come prophesied on us, to tell us, the Lord just told me to tell you. Instead of saying, man, my brother told me that. My sister told me that. Mom's been telling me that for years. Man, Dad sure told me that. My uncle, he told me I could do that. My aunt. I was just at the barbershop yesterday, and I was charging this young brother up because he brought his nephew down there. He brought him from Chicago, brought him down to Champaign. He's been trying to work with him throughout the summer. See, that's why I tell you uncles to be uncles, because that might be the only inspiration a young man might get nowadays is from an uncle. And so the uncle, he was talking to his nephew. He told him, man, cut your hair. So I'm in there charging the young man up. Man, yeah, cut that hair, man. Watch the way that teacher look at you. She gonna look at you a lot different, man, because you look like you own something now, man. You got that haircut. But he was trying to inspire him, telling him about the crowd and the buddies that he's hanging around with up there in Chicago area. All of these different dynamics, you know. He wanted his nephew to be somebody. Same way I used to talk to my nephew, man. Nephew, we don't do gangs, nephew. Now my nephew come back and say, man, Uncle Sean, I sure appreciate what you told me, man. Because I look at some of them buddies now, and it's like I told some young men in my barbershop one time, you know, some of y'all gonna be dead. Some of y'all gonna be went to prison. But some of y'all gonna grow off and y'all gonna raise a family. Some of y'all gonna go off to school, man, and finally get in and say, hey, man, I want to further my education. I want to make somebody proud. And despite of where life might take you, as long as you got full breath in your body and you wake up to a fresh new day, you can get it right. You get that mirror right, man. You could change it up. You could change it up. It's all start right here in your mind. It all start right here in your mind. I got a scripture right here, and it's coming up out of Romans. And it say, be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed. And it's a different verse, but I'm going to add it in there, by the renewing of your mind. Changing the way we think. As a man thinketh, so is he or she. Once you start changing the way you think, your thought process, the way you evaluate stuff, the way you process stuff. See, but you got to get all that bitterness all out you, all that frustratedness, all that got to be away so that your mind start to be clear. That alcohol abuse, that drug abuse, address that issue. Start addressing the issue. Write down your issues. The Bible talk about write it down, make it plain, write that vision down, make it plain. Write down what's going on. I mean, you do a self-evaluation of yourself, a self-inventory. No, I do it for myself. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do it later on for myself so I can fine-tune the areas that I'm short in. Man, I need to do this, and I constantly do it. I'm looking over papers that I wrote years ago when I was in the one bedroom, and my buddy was saying, Sean, your crib's so small, I could tell when you at home because your feet hanging out the window, cracking all the jokes. That was a good joke, too. My buddy said that. That was a good joke. I laugh about it to this day. But when I do the mirror check, and I look back over my life, and where the Lord then brought me from, man. Where the Lord then brought me from. But you have to do that, write it down. What's going wrong? What I'm hurt about? What I'm mad and frustrated about? Sometimes we got hurt a long time ago and we don't even remember what we mad about. We just got that look on our face, that unapproachable look. You know what look I'm talking about? Because I see it all the time. That old look. Don't say nothing to me. What you so happy for? Who you think you is? What happened to you to make you think you saw? You think you all that and a bag of chips? Well, I'm gonna tell you one thing. You your biggest fan, and you can be your biggest enemy. Which one do you choose to be? You your star player. And if you don't get it right, you don't get it right. If you got kids, that's part of your tree. Guess who get affected? You got a wife? Guess who? You got a significant other? You got a mom or dad or any other people that's dependent on you? Guess who get affected? You got brothers, you got sisters, you got a community. Just think if a hurt guy is in charge of your life. Somebody hurt, frustrated, don't like who they are. 5 heartbeats. You ain't gonna be nothing, 'cause I ain't nothing. That's what his dad told him. 'Cause he had inspirations to go off and be a famous singer. Too many people telling you, you can't be nothing. Then you start telling it to yourself, you start believing it. I ain't gonna be nothing. Shoulders drop. You kicking a rock down the road. I've just listened to him. Inspirational guy, Les Brown, man. Tune into him. YouTube him, Les Brown. He said the wealthiest place in the world is a cemetery. So many great ideas, so many great inventions, so many great recipes, so many great cures. But because of procrastination, some naysayer that told you can't go to, you'll never be a great surgeon. You'll never be a scientist. You can't be an inventor. You don't know nothing about carpentry. Put that hammer down. You can't be an electrician. Inky Johnson, one of the great motivational young motivational speakers that I watch. He was in high school in Atlanta, going to the schools, trying to stay inspired as a young man. Security guard at the school told him, "Young man, what you doing? What you think you gonna be?" He said, "Man, I'm going D1. I'm going D1. I'm going to the NB. No, he wanted to go to the NFL. I'm going to the NFL. You going D1? Man, yeah, right. Said you're going to be a cell block D1. Some people cut you down, man, right before you can even get started. They try to cut the wind, take the wind from out you before you can even get started. Like a teacher over there at a battle where I was at. Matter of fact, a dean. Sean, you'll never be anything. You'll never be anything. It knocked the wind out you, man. Before you can even get started. Instead of her putting as much energy, till she was about to faint, because it's just like me raising my hand. It's like me raising my hand, foreign or domestic. It's like those people that just put their life on the line, those soldiers. They gave the ultimate sacrifice. So when you dedicate yourself toward the education of young people, just don't deal with the good kids. Deal with those that got some issues. That's what you praise your, or was you faking? Well, keep it 100 then. Just say, I raise my right hand to educate just the good kids. Just keep it real. I only want to teach good kids. The ones that got two-parent households, they got great jobs. I only want to work 8. Now, if it's going to require me to do 10, I'm done. How many of us out there willing to put in the 10 to 12 to 14 hours towards something we believe in? Because whatever you put your mind to, it's going to take some work. But it's called a reward, too. It's called a reward. You know, Mr. Somerville passed away. Big shouts out to Mr. Somerville. And I'm going to tell you how funeral home business works. You know, it's people that go with money, and we do a service, and we in and out, in and out. I mean, in and out. 1 or 2 people maybe got up and said, hey, woo, 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 and gone. We're like, oh, okay, that was a quick funeral. You know, a quick funeral, we in and out. Cemetery, everything, in and out. But then, you catch a guy like Mr. Somerville. Don't nobody want to let him go. 3, 4 days worth of service, celebration, inspired so many young people, motivated so many young people. I remember when I was in I was in his class, had some tough mornings, you know, because when you grow up in the hood, 1-parent household, it's gonna be some issues. You know, as a young person, you're trying to find yourself, you're trying to find your way. You're trying to figure out, where you gonna make your mark at in this life. You know, what's your future gonna look like? You know, and I thank God for people like that. That went beyond and above the call of duty to help somebody. Doing that little extra. Because a lot of times they nothing but a little extra. Just a little extra. How many of us are willing to do a little extra out there? Because what it does is build up legacy. And then at that service, when they stretch you across the church, and droves of people just steady coming. Because that extra became extraordinary. You was special. And each one of us have greatness in us. Each one of us have greatness in us. But it's only the few that survive. It's only the few that tap in. Out of the millions and millions and millions of people that's out there. Why do you think that the magazines have it all listed up about who then tapped into their gift and they become the top millionaires and the top billionaires? It's only handfuls of those guys and those women. Because a lot of times we don't tap into our gift. The Bible talks about your gift will make room for you. See, back in the day, I'm going to give you a little snippet. Give you a little snippet on my life. Back in the day, because a lot of times we don't know where God going to take us, where we're going to get channeled to, right? Okay, so back in the day, I had an adopted grandmother that was next door to me that I used to help take care of. Her name was Essie Shepherd. Dion's new grandma, Tom's new grandma. And so Miss Essie, in the wintertime, while all the other guys was hooping, I didn't hoop. I wrestled. I didn't hoop. I wrestled. So while the other guys hooping, they going out to hoop dreams, Miss Essie, in snowstorms and stuff, she had me over there and she used to crochet. So she taught me how to crochet. I got real good at making Afghans and all that type of stuff. And everybody saying, oh, Sean, he over there doing that girly stuff, blah, 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 blah. But I never knew that God was working on me even then. So as she pouring all this knowledge and wisdom in my head, and I'm crocheting over there in the rocking chair, rocking back and forth, God was working on me because he knew I was going to lose that job down in Atlanta. And I was going to have to go back to my skill that I used to practice on, just a hobby of cutting hair in the military. Then he turned that into a career for me. So he worked on me with that crocheting, with my hand and eye coordination. So now when I get them clippers in my hand, I could do it like this. I could close my eyes and fade ahead. I could close my eyes Then, on top of that, he made me have a good spirit. Because people shop from whom they like. If they don't like you, they don't shop. That's the one thing about entrepreneurship that you got to get right. Get yourself together. Stop being so gossiping and not inviting and just negative. If you want that to work for you, you got to be a good person from the inside out and not from the outside in. So you got to be, man, you got to be a good person. Be able to love on folks. So that blasted a great career over 25 years of being able to just have a gift. The Bible say your gift will make room for you. Your gift. So as those men and women and those kids and those grandmas came in, I could love on them because of the spirit that the old saints poured on me to love on folks. Because Christ ain't about just lip service. We want lip service. And let me hold something. I ain't gonna let me leave that out. Lip service and hold something. But it's about an everyday walk. It's an everyday walk, an everyday talk. Let your little light shine so that your mirror, your audio, match your video. Let's let our audio match the video. And I'm working on me. You work on you. Because when I'm telling y'all, I'm telling it to myself. And I repeat it every day because I got people depending on me. That tree. Because you never know who you're going to inspire. And hey, YouTube Inky Johnson. And he'll tell you about his life. Because he had 3 cousins laying on that floor with them roaches and them rats. And it wasn't about his life. It was about being an inspiration for them cousins. Why not be a good cousin? Why not be a good neighbor? Why not be a good community person? A tree is known by the fruit that it bears. That's going to determine how we feel about each other or feel about ourselves in the mirror. When we look in the mirror, can we love on somebody after we look in that mirror? Can we go out of that mirror and say, man, I'm so proud about the guy that mirror. Because when you feel good about yourself, you can make other people feel good. Man, I sure appreciate this segment. Let the truth be told. Another inspirational program. You tell somebody to tune in to us. We come on in the morning times, 4 o'clock in the mornings on Sunday mornings and 8 o'clock Sunday evenings. Tell somebody to tune in, man. I hope y'all like my Illini banging hat. We getting ready to start school back. You know, back to school. We got a back to school drive that's going to be going on at Jericho Missionary Baptist Church, 1601 West Bloomington Road. It will be going on Champaign-Urbana Day weekend. That's August the 13th. That's Sunday. Out there in front of the church, we're going to be giving away backpacks. Man, y'all come out there and join us. Champaign-Urbana Day going to be going on August 12th. I'll be out there with all my insurance agents. We're going to be out there just sharing love. Let's share some love. Let's spread some love. Let's love on some folks. Let's make our lives better by loving on other people. Because in order to get a blessing, you got to be a blessing. Thank you for another episode of Let Truth Be Told. Peace.